Hello, everyone, and as always, welcome back to Strategy Gaming Dojo, where we find, learn, and play one more turn of the great strategy games. And today we're back into the big one, Gary Grigsby's War in the Pacific Admirals Edition. This is our Let's Play against the devilish Mr. Lodrick. And I've been going through doing kind of an in-depth turn this last time. We made it through, well, we almost made it through India. It's a long ways down this and around this map. But I decided to keep this thing moving along. We're going to go ahead and do a combat resolution here, and then after this combat resolution, I'll do the setup for China and maybe down into Java, and then do a detailed setup over the next several turns for the entire map. But I just thought to keep things moving along, let's do a combat resolution for March 25th, and then when we come back next time, I'll do the deep dive again, starting in China, and then we'll go south from there. Okay, so let's get to it. It's March 25th, 1942. We're going to see the combat resolution for March 25th and March 26th and see what Mr. Ludrick has in store. Now, he told me there was a lot of action this turn when he sent the turn back over. So we'll see. We'll see if he's correct in that. Oh, there, well, kind of had a hiccup there. All right, now we're through. I always hate when that. I'm like, no, it's an old game, so you never quite know if you might get a crash. Although I must say, with this Admiral's Edition, I hardly ever get a crash, but always save. Here's the SS Cachalot out here. Of course, it finds an anti-sub, or the anti-sub ship found it. It was just a little PB, but we'll see. If the Cachalot can hold on, yep, nobody gets hit there. It was a PB. Cachalot diving deep. It was located by the PB, so it was an ASW attack. All right, we had some ships merging there. Going through all the early phases. Kendari. All right, there is an amphibious task force off of Kendari. You see the destroyer Hatsushima out here bombarding the coast. And we took 7 casualties there. So he's got an AK and a destroyer in this amphibious group, and now troops are unloading. Japanese took 66 casualties unloading amphibious assault at Kendari, but Kendari will fall. A prime location. Not worth a ton of points, but always important that the Japanese take that as a base of operations. It's got a decent airfield. 7 Japanese ships near Trincomalee. You could see those there, and then a Seagull sighting 6 Japanese ships off the northern coast of Australia. Two Japanese ships off Rabaul, 9 Japanese ships at Port Moresby, 5 that were south of Colombo. 3 zeros are flying over the top. They're trying to lure our seagulls up. Boy, those seagulls have done damage as we talk about every turn. So he's now flying sweeps over that to defend against the seagulls. All right, the bombing in China as we get every turn. And we take 99 casualties on the ground, one damage Sonia. It looks like they're actually flying out of Cyan. You can see this is where we picked them up visually 1 hex away. It looks like they're coming in from the west, the southwest. And now we're getting bombed east of Yan'an. So west of Yan'an, east of Yan'an, we get bombed every time. 2 damage planes this time, 63 casualties on the ground. 20 Sallies hit that same group. And we take 24 casualties on the ground there. All right, now bombing west of Yan'an again. These poor guys, 62 casualties reported on the ground. Now east of Yan'an, why not? Just keeps ping-ponging back and forth. 9 casualties on the ground there. All right, now west of Yan'an. This is like a tennis match. 87 casualties reported. Now we're sighting Japanese planes from our ground troops. You may be shocked to hear he's now bombing west of Yan'an. 61 casualties there. So all told, I mean, that just keeps adding up, right? I mean, we've probably got 300 or 400 casualties now out on the ground just from relentless Japanese bombing in China. All right, citing a lot of things in and around Colombo or Ceylon in general. One's off Trincomalee. Now, part of that is that's just his western screen for his carriers that were down by Rangoon. Well, I said his carriers were down by Rangoon. They're actually now bombing Colombo. Well, they're coming in 14 zeros. We did get trops in the air. We've got 2B trops and we've got Hurricane 1 trops there, and we've been fighting him pretty well with the trops. And you can see there, okay, 3 zeros destroyed, 3 Hurricane 1s destroyed, and 1 Hurricane 2B destroyed. So he gets the better of us 4-3 there. But we'll take that in the sense that, you know, we're letting him know that we're there, right? I mean, he can't just fly over this, and his pilots and planes are a hell of a lot more valuable than ours are. Now, maybe not from a point perspective per se, but although they can be, it's more about, you know, just the number of pilots and planes he actually has. I mean, we're just going to have an incredible number of planes on this map before the game's over. The Japanese, they're a little more precious resource. Okay, this time we get some Fulmars up. That's never good. Those are fighter bombers up against 22 zeros. We also got the Hurricane 1s and the 2Bs up. We take a beating there. We lose 1 Fulmar, we lose 1 Hurricane 1, and we lose 2 Hurricane 2s. So altogether there, we lost 8 to his 3. Yuck. Now he's flying a sweep over Changsha. Now he's going to bomb the swamp rats north of Port Moresby. Ah, man, that first result out of Colombo looked good. The second result, not so much. 65 casualties in the swamp forest there, and he's going to bomb them again. It looks like that's coming straight out of Rabaul. The reason I mention that is because we always want to know where his carriers are. I don't think these are coming off carriers. I think they're coming straight out of Rabaul. 70 casualties reported on the ground there. Now he's going to come back for second helpings at Colombo. His bombers are coming in now. 45 Vals, 78 Kates. He's got 47 zeros in escort. We only got 1 fighter bomber up. Well, that's not going to do a whole lot. We got to really hope he doesn't damage the airfield too much here. Okay. Um, wow, we did a lot of damage to his planes because we've got a lot of flak here. 13 damage Kates, 4 destroyed by flak. That's excellent. That really evens up. You know, from that air battle, we destroyed 4 Kates and 1 Val by flak. We also damaged 28 planes and took no losses ourselves. However, the Prince of Wales, which has been sitting here forever trying to repair. Now, the problem is we don't. There's just no way we can repair it enough to get it out of here. We just got to protect it here because if I try to send it out, it's going to sink. It already had 99 damage. Unfortunately, it's been hit again for heavy damage, and they hit the port supply for one. So the Prince of Wales is under a lot of threat now. Oh boy. Oh boy. That's a big point value. I mean, it's over 200 points for the Prince of Wales. 15 Sonias come in here, southeastern China. And there were no losses on either side there. Oh, man. We really are flack on the ground at Colombo, just ripped him up. Uh, Oh, okay. We sent out 5 swordfishes. Whoever the commander is here, we've got them on naval attack. They decided to go out and test those carriers. Well, that wasn't a good idea. They got 16 zeros up. Actually, you know what? I don't hate that idea. He sent a lot of zeros into Colombo. It's possible we were trying to, the commander, the air commander out here was trying to catch them on the flight deck before they could get back up. Unfortunately, that didn't work. So the swordfishes go down. 3 of them. We lose 3. That's okay. That's okay. Now we're bombing, and we've got the B-25 Mitchells here that are coming out of Koapang, and we've got an AK in our sights. Now these guys have been terrible about hitting things that they actually acquire, but they did this time. Bomb hits 1. The AK Tokawa Maru is now on fire. So we finally hit an AK uh, with those guys. Maybe they're getting a little better. They've missed so many times that I think maybe those Mitchell Bombardiers getting a little better. That's nice. All right, we'll take that. All in all, everything that happened there at Colombo was not bad. I mean, not terrible, certainly. The only problem is we got the Prince of Wales hit yet again. Now, as I said, it's been on 99 damage. I can't remember. It's not 99 float damage. It's 99 system damage. But it's also got heavy float damage. And well, I don't think it was on fire though. Okay, we got a ground battle out here at Wu Chao. It's a deliberate attack. So he's finally decided to attack us here at Wu Chao. He's got way too much for us to stop him. Obviously, he takes us down to a 2 on the fort level, and finally he just takes Wu Chao, and we're gonna have to put it all in reverse. Now let's see how this worked out. He's got 87,000 men. We had about 15,000. Well, you can see the assault value once they adjusted everything out. He actually went up a little bit. We went down. Um, we did have decent leaders out here. I'm not really sure on that adjusted. I mean, this terrain's not great. We had a fort level. But anyway, he takes 1,552 casualties. We take 5,904. So again, about 4 to 1. And now this is a bombardment attack. This is our huge stack out of Loyang that's moved up here. He's just been content to bombard it. He hasn't done any kind of deliberate or shock attack. Here he takes 11 casualties. We take 364, so he's got a decent amount of artillery in there, certainly. Now he's going to bombard us in southeastern China. Okay, nothing happened. No casualties anyway. Now he's deliberately attacking the group that came out of Surabaya. They've been trying to get down the island here, but they're just running out of room, and eventually they were always going to get destroyed. I keep popping them from base to base, but there's just no way of stopping this Japanese juggernaut. The adjusted value 610 to 25. Well, that's not going to go well for us. Defender preparation minus, experience minus, supply minus. Ouch. 187 Japanese casualties, 3,900 Allied casualties. What do we have here? Japanese deliberate attack. This is in at Sabolga. Yeah, and he's going to take that. So attack leaders, he gets a plus for that. Deliberate attack. Well, he just takes it. I guess we. Yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. We didn't have anything in Sabolga. We've got these units that are coming. Well, they've. I think they started here and here and here. They've all bundled up here. We're trying to get past Sabolga. He very smartly ran an amphibious group up here and has now captured Sabolga to try to block that. He's got another deliberate attack here on this base. This is Probolingo, and he will take Probolingo. He's bombarding Kendari. Okay, nobody lost there. Now he's going to deliberate attack. That's us, though. So I am now deliberately attacking back here. This is what fired artillery at us. He's just been doing that time after time. I decided, you know what? Let's attack. Well, that doesn't look great. You can see he's got 99,000 troops. We have 94,000 troops, but the Japanese troops are much better. We do have more. I'm sorry, we have 99. He has 94. He's got more guns, and he's got 734 AFVs in here. So once we adjust all that out, he's got us like 10 to 1 on the adjustment. He loses 559 men. We lost 7,238 men. Disastrous result for us there. I thought it was worth a shot. Probably should have said discretion is the better part of valor. All right, that's the end of March 25th. Wow, quite a bit happened there. We had carrier attacks. He took several bases. He's now bombarding Kandari. We had, several land battles in China. He took Wu Chao. Our big major force got beaten there right at the end of the turn. Ay, ay, ay. The Prince of Wales is in trouble. It's been in trouble. I can't get it out of Colombo. I mean, even if his carriers weren't there, that's why I haven't sent it off map yet. All right, going through all of the end of day stuff here. All right, here comes our arrivals. We got a new squadron in at Madras there, a new squadron of aircraft. All right, it's now March 26th, so we flipped the day. There was a lot that happened on March 25th. I got to keep a log of everything. Well, I mean, I know the game does, but just some of the big events that happened during the game. Keep a little calendar. All right, this is a Japanese sub. This is a submarine tender of ours that I took out of Colombo, and I'm trying to get it up to Bombay. He launched 2 torpedoes at it, did not hit it. Now, sometimes these submarine tenders can be worth a pretty decent amount of points. That's why I was trying to get it out of there. But you can see those Japanese subs, he's got 2 or 3 of them that are kind of stationed right around the southern tip of India. Smart place to have them. He's going to go for a second bite at that apple, and he hits it. Torpedo hits one, on fire, heavy damage. My goodness gracious. I was trying to save that ship. Now, ultimately, it probably would have been lost at Colombo from that carrier attack anyway. But I've tried to get everything out of Colombo. We do get it out of there just in time to run into a Japanese submarine, for goodness sakes. Boy, if I didn't have bad luck in this go around with Lodrick, I wouldn't have any luck at all. Now, there was nothing to escort it. You may say, well, it's not luck. You should have escorted it. But, obviously, I just don't have a bunch of destroyers sitting around at Colombo because his carriers can do things like they're doing now and pressure Colombo. All right, we got some ship mergers. We're now spotting his escort groups. When I say escort groups, they're escorting the main carrier group out there near Colombo. Okay, his carriers are going to come after Colombo again. We do get a cap up, including two B trops, a Fulmer, maybe. It says 0 right now. We'll see. We had some Hurricane 1s up as well. So they just sweep over. We did destroy 1-0 and we lost a Hurricane 1. All right, we'll take that trade. Now he's going to bring 21 more zeros over the top. Doesn't look like we got any of them on the initial pass. We lose a Fulmer 2 and a 2B trop. Well, we ended up losing that little skirmish, 3-1 in total. Oscar's over Changsha, just running a sweep there. 16,000 feet. Now he's coming back with zeros to Colombo. We don't even put up cap that time. Our pilots are going to be exhausted. Okay, he's bombing west of Yan'an. Now you can see we've actually moved to Hex finally. They've been stuck out there forever. One damaged Sonya, 123 casualties. He's going to hit him again. We've got 129 casualties on the ground as he's chipping now east of Yan'an. Two damaged Sallies, 18 casualties on the ground. Hopefully some of those Sallies are going down. Sweep over Changsha at 16,000 feet. He finds nothing. Bombing east of Yan'an. 8 casualties on the ground there. Now bombing west of Yan'an. Well, we're keeping his bombers busy between these two stacks. 32 casualties on the ground. This is training up his bombers, though. Bombardiers, I should say. It's not the planes that get trained. 13 ands. He misses that time. All right, bombing west of Yan'an with Idas. He misses there. Okay, good. Okay, that was the end of the AM air phase. Two phases every day of each day. We're doing 2-day turns, but also each day have a morning and an evening phase. So his carriers are out by Colombo. We got to make sure they're not sneaking up Bombay way. We know with these 2-day turns they can move a long ways. Now he's bombing in Sumatra with some Bettys and some Nels. 57 total bombers. One of them got damaged. 33 casualties on the ground. 3 zeros sweep over Cagayan looking for our seagulls. Now he's going to bomb the gentleman north of Port Moresby. We take 50 more casualties on the ground there. One damaged Betty. All right, here comes the Bettys again. 18 of them this time. 44 on the ground got hurt. Now he is going to bomb Colombo yet again. It looks like we only get 5 planes up in cap. At this point, it's just overwhelming force. We just don't have enough. We have 2 full squadrons of Hurricanes there, but ultimately those pilots can only go up in the air so many times. You can see our flak going crazy. He does destroy 2 submarines, an AS, the Platypus, an AKL. So we lose 4 ships there. There were 2 submarines in port. 33 zeros, 67 Kates, 41 Vals. So we brought 108 bombers in there. We only put up 5 cap. We destroy a 0. We damage 17 Kates. We destroy 2 Kates. We damage 13 Vals and destroy 1 Val. That flak at Colombo is no joke. Uh, Allied ships. Prince of Wales, bomb hits 8, heavy fires, heavy damage. Sayonara, Prince of Wales, I think. We lose the AKL here. We lose two Dutch subs that I had taken all the way from Java up here. It doesn't matter. We lose more 1 point ships here. The Platypus, I'm not sure how many points that's worth. We'll have to look. Um, 4 casualties reported on the ground. Repair shipyard took a hit. The port took 2 hits. All in all, not great. He's also coming in from here, so he's got two separate carrier task forces. Now, one of them, well, I don't know. He maybe just split his main one into two this way, and he's coming back over Colombo again. I mean, we're doing some real damage to his planes, but it doesn't matter. He's getting what he wants. He wants that Prince of Wales. 2 damaged Kates, 2 destroyed Kates, and 2 more damaged Kates. No allied losses for planes, but we do lose an AK here. It's probably a 5 or 6 point ship. A PG, which is probably a 2 to 4 point ship, and another AK. We're going to lose all 3 of those ships. So again, he jumps out there and hits us before we can react to it. It's well done. Now we've made him pay for it a little bit with the aircraft, but if he takes down the Prince of Wales, like I said, I think that's a 202 point ship. If I'm just guessing off the top of my head, I think it's 202. And we'll have to go out there and see if it can still float. I mean, ultimately, we couldn't move it. Yep, there it went down. Prince of Wales sinks. Uh, ah, ah, that hurts. I mean, you're lucky. Now, you're lucky if you don't lose it at Singapore initially, right? We didn't. And we then ran this kind of crazy mission up between Sumatra, uh, and the Thai Peninsula. We got it up there and got it all the way to Colombo, but it was heavily damaged, and I couldn't get it out of Colombo. Now, in your game, if you can, get it off the map immediately, right? I mean, you got to get it to Cape Town or Aden, one of the two. I just never had the opportunity to do that, and he's been hunting it ever since. We've got ground combat here. This is just a Japanese bombardment attack between these two stacks. Again, what I've been, calling the Loyang stack. We've got a bombardment attack by the Japanese down here in southeastern China. All right, there's no damage there. At Kindari, he's bombarding yet again. All right, nobody lost there. Wow, a lot of carrier action in and around Colombo. It was crazy. I mean, if we didn't lose the Prince of Wales, I would say overall I would have been fine with that whole interaction. But losing a 200-point ship will cast a sour mood over Allied command this evening. Losing those two Dutch subs, I mean, ultimately, I was happy that we even got them out of the Java area. I was going to use them up by Colombo to just guard against something like this. He happened to catch them right in base. Now I've got like 5 or 6 of them up there, but 2 of them had gone back into Colombo to rearm. Um, oh well, it happens. That is gonna just about do it. There should be, yep, that's gonna do it. No more action on March 26th. When we come back next time on March 27th, we'll go look, see how many points we lost, including the Prince of Wales. We'll do a deep dive into China as I'll continue that kind of deep dive setup phase. I'll do it in China. And as I said, I'd like to move down into Java if we can get there, but there's a lot going on in China. So we'll go through that next time, and maybe Java too. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, not the best of turns for us losing that Prince of Wales. Otherwise, not terrible. This has been Strategy Gaming Dojo. I'll talk to you next time. Have a good one.